We have learned while loops, we have learned for loops. Now it's time to combine them. In this video, we will learn nested loops, loops inside other loops. So let's begin. So first of all, what are nested loops? A nested loop is simply a loop inside another loop. The outer loop controls rows, the inner loop controls columns. Okay, so let's get a basic understanding for the nested loop. Let's say I wrote a program saying for I in range 3 and I said print I. So what it will do is it will print like 0, 1, 2. And now I'm gonna write another for loop in the for loop. It's called nested loop. This is one loop and this is second loop inside the first loop. So now if I write this, okay, I made a mistake here. I should have printed like this. And if I print J2, so let's get it like this. Okay, it's getting messy, never mind. Let's print I comma J. And if I print it, it gets printed like this. So first it will run this, then it will run this loop 3 times like this. Its value was 0. And then we came to this loop again, and then this loop ran again 3 times, then it was printing I and J. Then this loop again ran third time and this ran again for 3 times. Actually it's getting pretty confusing, so let's just say value, let's use if strings and value of I to make things clear. I is this and value of J is this J, and I'm gonna let's try it like this first. Okay, so as you can see, value of I is 3 times 0 because this loop was 0 when this loop ran for the first time. So this value was 0 for 3 times and it changed to like 0, 1, 2 for every time, and this got every digit 3 times here. I hope it's clear now. Okay, so let's take a real world analogy to better understand it. Imagine a clock, and a clock has 2 hands. First is our hands and second is minutes hands. So our outer loop, which was the I in range loop, is your like hours hand, and the other loop, which was inner loop, will be your minutes hand. So minutes complete before the hours changes. Okay, so let's start writing some programs now. And to practice nested loop, it's a very common practice to print patterns in almost every programming language, so we'll do the same for this one. Now we'll print a square with star. So for that we will write for I in range 3 and then for J in range 3 again, colon here, and print star, and we'll use and equals to space to add space after every star to make it cleaner, and print for the new line. So now when you run this, you will get a square. So what's happening here is this will run first, then it will come here, then it will print this 3 times like this. This is only single print, then this is second print, and this is your third print, and after that it comes here and the line changes and then it repeats. And patterns are proof that logic is working. Okay, so now let's write a number pattern here. I'll just comment it out and we'll write number pattern. For that we'll write for I in range first our outer loop and 1 comma 4 to make a loop start from 1 and end at 3, and we write like this, print j and okay. So now why we are printing j here, because of, if you guys remember, this value will change every time and this will print at least 3 times or how many times your loop are like running, the outer loop. Okay, and we'll change the line now. Okay, I think there's something have statements must be, okay, we got a symbol here. Okay, so now we printed 1 2 3 with, I mean we printed square with 1 2 3. Okay, so let's make another one, which is triangle pattern. It is very popular to, like, you almost or you may have seen triangle pattern in other languages too, if they have nested loop or something like that. Okay, so let's say triangle pattern. It is right angled triangle, by the way. Let's not write it. And for I in range 1 comma 6, not 67. For j in range I print I and comma and space, yeah, just like this, and print. Okay, so now we, oh sorry, I used I by mistake. Yeah, now we got triangle. I'll just clear it for the better output. Yeah, now it's clear. So now what's happening here is this will run once, then its value is 1 now. So it printed only single star, and then it changed the line, then outer loop gave 2, so now its value is 2. For j in range it became 2, so it printed 2 stars, then it changed to the new line, then it became 3, then this loop ran for j in range 3, and then it printed 3 stars and again changed to new line, and so on. Okay, so enough programming. Now let's talk about some common beginner mistakes which we all have done or you might do. So let's discuss them about like now, so you don't face them. So the first one is wrong indentation, just like every video, don't forget the indentation. And second is forgetting print for new line, and one missing line break ruins the pattern. For example, if you didn't got my point, if you forgot to write this line, see what happens. It will just print a line like this. Okay, so let's write one more program. Nested loop with conditions. I'll write it here, nested loop with conditions. Okay, so for that we'll write a program which will create a, you can say it will be rectangle or bigger square with my hyphens and asterisks, which is also known as stars in simple words. So let's say for I in range 1 comma 6 colon, for j in range 1 comma 6 colon, if I equals to j, then print star in double quotes, and equals to space, yeah, like this, and then else print. I hope you already got the logic, like what's going on here. If you haven't, it's okay, I'll explain it in a while. Okay, so what's happening here is this loop will run, then we'll come here, So if the values matches, it will print star. For example, if I equals to 1 and j equals to 1, so they both will be equal. Like 1 equals to 1, it is true, so it will print this. If it's not true, for example, it will go like this. First I value will be 1, then it will be j value will change till 5. So it will keep on printing hyphens, and after that it will be 2. So it will only print asterisk or star at the second like column, and then the third, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. Okay, so let's try running it. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, I think it's the indentation only. Yeah, it was the indentation, and as you guys can see now, it's printed as I told. It only printed single star at the first, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. And if you guys have any doubts related to any of this concept, you can comment down below. I'll reply as soon as possible. And let's use while inside for loop. Like, let's use while loop inside a for loop. While inside for loop for I in range 1, 4, j equals to 1, while j less than equal to 3, print I comma j plus equals to 1. Okay, I think, yeah. Okay, and always remember, loops don't care, they can be mixed. Like, this for loop won't care if you are using while loop or for loop inside it. And let's try running it, and it's printing something like this, which you have already printed in start. Okay, so that was just a demonstration to show you guys that you can use any loop inside any loop. I think it got confusing. Okay, sorry. So you can use for loop inside while loop and while loop inside a for loop. Okay, so now let's talk about best practices. First one is keep nested loops readable and use meaningful variable names. Avoid deep nesting. For what do I mean by deep nesting is, don't use too many nested loops. For example, you are making hundreds of nested loops. Don't do that. It will be confusing. And add comments if logic is complex. And in the next video, we will use nested loops for pattern printing, one of the most asked interview topics.